How's my C drive looking? This computer. Oh, my E drive is fucking dire. All right. Every day I get a little bit closer to uninstalling Windows. But today is not that day. Is that still on my clipboard? It is. All right. So, last time I kind of recognized that I ended up cutting out probably 20 or so minutes of me talking just because I was having trouble keeping myself on topic. So I decided that I was going to try something a little bit different this time and make some notes, which technically means that it's no longer no notes and should just be called notes. But that's less marketable, so we're just going to keep calling it no notes and pretend this doesn't exist. Oh, also, I need to set up a timer because I recognize that once I hit the 20 or 30 mark, I start really losing my steam, and then it becomes really hard for me to wrap things up. So I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes, and then that way I'll know that I've been going on for too long and I need to start wrapping up. Google timer, you are the only one who understands me. 25. Let's split down the middle and say 25 minutes because I think 30 might be too long and 20 might be too short. Let me also get a drink of water. It's going to fuck up my recording because I'm going to be in a different spot. You guys like water? It's pretty cool, right? I'm getting into it. I'm real water fiend as of late. Really hyped about water. Okay. All right. See, this is good. This is why we write the notes. I actually forgot about something already. Put that over there. Ta-da! Like it? I made it for the month. The Pride Month. I'm glad I did this because I didn't really do any art this year for Pride Month, which I kind of feel bad about, but also I was having a rough month, so, it happens. Something bad always ends up happening around Pride Month for me. Regardless, did this. I want to wear it. I meant to wear it last time and I forgot. So last time I was telling everybody once I finished the last video, I was like, that video got kind of sappy towards the end, got a little bit heavy. I want my next video to be something goofy. That is not this video. I have a couple thoughts I need to get out of my head. I just need to get it out there and organize my thoughts. And this is a great way of doing it. So this video will not be a goofy haha, but hopefully the next one would be. In this video, I wanted to kind of talk about what's been going on with the ADHD stuff, because it's something that's kind of been affecting my workflow a lot, and I went into it briefly before, but I want to talk about it more because I kind of had some revelations, kind of thoughts after the last video that I want to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is medication, because I am medicated. It sure doesn't feel like it sometimes. I was under the impression that ADHD medication was going to be this magical thing that just made me feel instantly better. While it certainly has helped, I would not say that it has made a massive difference. Well, okay, that might be underselling a little bit. It has made a pretty big difference, but it hasn't eliminated all the issues that I have, which was kind of the impression I was getting based on how people described it. People would typically talk about how transformative their medication and stuff was for them. But for me, it felt like it kind of made it easier to focus, made me a little bit sharper, but the biggest problem I have ends up being executive dysfunction related, which is basically my ability to do things in general. And that has continued to be a really big problem. People would tell me about how they got their ADHD medication and wow, my life is completely transformed for the better. I can do whatever I want now. It's amazing. And I'm like, wow, I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. It's a little frustrating. And I don't blame anyone for feeling that way. Obviously that's great for them, but for me, it has not been that simple. What's the timer looking like right now? Oh my god, it's been 5 minutes. What the fuck? Okay, so for the longest time, I was really worried that, like, okay, is maybe my medication dose is wrong, or maybe I just am not receptive to ADHD medication? Like, is something wrong with me? Because I'm not having that crazy transformative experience a lot of other people seem to be experiencing. But then my friend, another friend of mine who deals with ADHD, told me a really useful little mantra, which is skills, not pills. Now, before you come to any conclusions, this is not an anti-medication thing at all. This is instead saying that ADHD meds can be helpful, but they don't give you the skills that you truly need to manage your condition. And that's important to remember, because it can feel very much like, oh, if I have the meds, shouldn't I have no more issues? And no, as it turns out, it's not nearly as simple as that. And for me, personally, I have a lot of other things that seem to be compounding on top of the ADHD that makes executive dysfunction particularly bad in my case. And that's something that I've kind of been thinking about a lot recently, and what I want to talk about today. I even wrote a list. I talked about the list, but I wrote it. So it feels like there's a lot of different components that are leading to the executive dysfunction. Some of them are ADHD, but others are my other problems, namely anxiety and OCD. You could argue that anxiety and OCD are the same thing. They're not, or at least not quite. They're a little bit different. The point being, other mental problems that I have, the other mental health issues that I have, tend to compile on top of the ADHD and make doing stuff particularly difficult. And I spent a lot of time, especially today, the last couple days, I spent some time really sitting down and thinking, okay, what the fuck is going on? Because clearly, it's not just an ADHD problem. Otherwise, taking the medication would have helped. And it does, but not entirely. So clearly, there's still other things going on. So the first thing that kind of comes to mind is that I have a lot of deep-rooted sort of feelings about doing my hobbies. I have had kind of bad experiences in the past with doing my hobbies, and it's led to me kind of developing these sort of negative thought processes when it comes to doing a hobby. And when I think about doing a hobby, I think about a lot of bad shit that I experienced before, and it makes me just not want to do my hobbies. One of the main ones is that I'm always worried that whatever I want to do is going to be too difficult, and that it will be just so difficult that I'll just have to give up because it's too hard. And then I'll be very disappointed with myself because, oh man, I should have had that in the bag. Why wasn't I able to do that? This stems from so many different things. And, you know, there's a bit of the classic gifted child problem in there. I'm sure you know it. We're told early on that you're so talented and yada, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And then you go to do something and it turns out to actually be kind of hard and give you some resistance. And then you think, well, I wasn't immediately good at this thing like everyone said I should be, so I'm not going to do it. Grr. And that is obviously a big problem. It's not a good way of thinking about hobbies or doing skills, but it is the way that's ingrained in my brain. And obviously, I can work on that, and I have been, but it is important to recognize that that is a way that you've been processing your thoughts. I have been thinking like, well, I should just be good at something right off the rip, and if I'm not, and if I'm bad at it, then I should be disappointed with myself, and other people are going to make fun of me. And that would have happened a lot when I was learning new skills, where the moment that I experienced any kind of friction at all was the moment I just gave up, because I shouldn't be experiencing friction. I mean, only losers experience friction, right? Only losers are bad at things when they're first learning how to do them. As it turns out, I was a stupid kid who didn't understand how learning worked. And as you might know, if you've learned anything, that typically speaking, you are bad at things when you first try and learn them. This video stuff, it's a learning experience. I don't think I'm doing a particularly good job. Like, I can salvage the footage, but it's not organized very well. Being bad at something just made me not even want to try. And that was because I felt like I had a certain level of expectations that I should have been hitting, and I felt like I was going to get judged or people were going to be disappointed in me, especially that last one. With my art right now, I don't do commissions, not because I don't have the time or I don't have the skill set, but because I'm so concerned about people being disappointed in the quality of my work that it is paralyzing. That was another thing that was stopping me from drawing not only just commissions, honestly, but in general. That like I wouldn't want to make things that didn't hit a certain quality level because I was worried about being judged for making something that was bad. Not even just making something that was bad, but making something that did not hit the quality level that was expected of me. And you can go all Freudian on me and try and pick my brain about like who specifically in your family ingrained that thought process into you. And that's none of your business, but in case you're wondering, it was my grandfather. There's also this kind of anxiety around the fact that I have so many unfinished projects and I've had so many things I've done in the past that amounted to nothing, that it kind of resulted in me just feeling like there wasn't really much reason to try something new because it wouldn't lead anywhere. And obviously that's a destructive line of thought, but brains don't typically think about, hey, is this a good thought to have or a bad thought to have? They kind of just think, and you have to deal with it. But the thing I've been really thinking about today is kind of based on some videos that I saw recently, your kind of typical self-help videos, and it kind of helped me reflect a little bit on my life currently and kind of the pitfalls I keep on falling into. So this is sort of kind of an OCD issue, kind of just a general issue. I have trouble feeling like now is a good time to do something. Typically speaking, there will be times when I have the free time to do something, I have the energy to do something, I have the motivation to do something, but then there'll just be something in the back of my head that says, no, you can't do it right now. Don't do it right now. It's impossible. From what I understand or what I've been told is kind of an OCD problem. It's kind of like this concept of just right OCD where something needs to feel correct before you can do it. And if all the planets didn't align, then you can't do it because something bad will happen. And I don't have the kind of OCD where it's like, oh, if I don't feel perfect before I record this video, I'm gonna get struck by lightning tomorrow. But I do have the kind of OCD where I think if I don't feel perfect before I work on this thing, then it's not gonna turn out well. It's gonna go poorly. And that is usually what gets me to stop working on it. One of the big ones that I've noticed as of late is that I tend to underestimate how much I can get done in one day. Sometimes I feel like I have to dedicate an entire day to one hobby, and I can't do multiple things in one day. I just don't have the energy for that. But then I'll go ahead and, spend 3-4 hours on the computer, bored out of my mind, just scrolling through YouTube, and, not working on my hobby, even though I clearly had the time and energy to do it. Because I just, for some reason, underestimate how much I can get done per day. I think like I can't do that much in one day, and part of that is because I have continuously told myself I'm incapable of doing it, and that has sort of become a self-fulfilling prophecy where now I don't trust myself to do things even when I clearly have the time and energy to do it. Another big one, and this is one that a lot of people with ADHD have, is I tend to overestimate how much time something is going to take to do. Hey, that's why I have a timer now. Speaking of which, timer check. 5 fucking minutes? Jesus Christ! Okay. I tend to overestimate or underestimate how much time it takes to do something. And that results in me not wanting to start something because I think it will take all day. Or, alternatively, sometimes I end up waiting way too long before starting something, and then I have to rush it out the door, and then that makes me really stressed and anxious, and then I don't want to do that thing again because that was a stressful situation. Another big one is feeling like I need to be extremely prepared to do something. This one sucks. Like, and I've gotten better about it, but it isn't as simple as I feel like I need to know how to do every aspect of this thing before I start. Although that is a component of it. I want to make a level in Resonite. And then I would say, well, I have to do the entire geometry by myself. And if I have to do the entire geometry by myself, I have to do all the props by myself and all the textures by myself. It's only valid, it's only correct if I do everything by myself. Awful way to think, because sometimes you really do just need practice with one aspect of the process. I have gotten over that, at least to some degree. It has been easier for me to say, hey, this is a practice thing. I'm allowed to use other people's assets. I'm allowed to use other people's tools because I want to focus on doing one thing specifically. I don't need to do the entire thing by myself for it to be valid. So that one's taken care of. That's nice. Well, I wouldn't say taken care of, but it's a work in progress, okay? So we're getting there. And the last thing, this is more of a genuine ADHD problem and not related to like anxiety or city other things. Computer bad, computer good, but computer also bad. I have noticed that YouTube is fucking distracting. And it's not even like I'm watching videos specifically. I'll scroll through my homepage for like 40, 50 fucking minutes for no reason. And it's like I could be doing something else, but as soon as I go onto the YouTube page, my brain just stops functioning. Obviously, it's designed to do that. That's the point. It doesn't make it any less terrible to deal with. I'm gonna have to kind of start recognizing when I'm spending a lot of time just aimlessly scrolling around on YouTube or other social media platforms or even Discord and say, okay, we need to break this pattern up. Before I went to go work on this video, I had actually gotten up and I was like, man, I feel like shit. I'm just gonna go to bed. And just the process of getting up and getting ready for bed made me realize, wait, I do have the energy to do this video right now. I'm just bored. We have 30 seconds left on the timer. 30 seconds left before we're all dead. Okay? So say your prayers now. Let's go ahead and set that for another 10 minutes. I think we'll be fine. It's a very particular kind of boredom where you feel like you're being productive enough to keep you engaged in doing nothing. It's like it's engaging enough to where you don't see any reason to stop doing it, but you are bored and you would probably rather be doing something else if it wasn't for that little bit of engagement that's keeping you hooked, because maybe something interesting will pop up if I scroll through the YouTube homepage for the 15th time in a row. That is a serious problem. And I think just now that I'm kind of thinking about it more and kind of recognizing it more, I think that just being aware of it and saying, okay, I've spent how many minutes just scrolling through YouTube? Let me get up for a little bit, reset my brain, and then see what I want to do. I think that should be a somewhat effective strategy for dealing with this, because it seems like the moment that I get up and kind of move around a little bit, my brain sort of refreshes and is like, oh, right. We could be doing literally anything else right now. And that's kind of the main talking points I wanted to go over. This was sort of an experiment to see how this list format would work. I'm not entirely sure if this is perfect, but as a slight addendum, I did some reflecting on the thing I was talking about last time, about how I didn't like the way that my scripted videos sounded. And I realized that is only half true, because last year in college, I took a speech class. You might think, me being a relatively social anxious person, that I would hate a speech class. I fucking loved that class. That class was awesome. That class was amazing. I loved it. And part of it was the aspect of writing and then delivering a speech. Now, I'm not going to go all whatever fucking Abe Lincoln motherfucker, and I'm not going to be sitting here spouting these really in-depth, well-thought-out speeches. But I am saying that if I can get some of that energy into a script, then maybe I would enjoy doing a more thought out, more written script. I probably wouldn't do it for no notes specifically because these videos are supposed to be kind of easy to put together, but you know, maybe I'll make some more well thought out videos. Maybe I'll do some Resonate tutorials or some analysis shit. I don't know. Who fucking knows? You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. I want to keep making videos like this. I want to keep testing things because this kind of helped. I don't think it helped a ton, but I do think it's the right direction, you know, misleading title aside. I do think this is a good way of doing things from now on, is writing bullet points and, you know, trying to stay somewhat on a guided path, because it's really easy for me to fall off the trail and get completely derailed for hours and just blab about nothing, which, granted, can be fun, but I do like making videos about specific topics. I feel like if I was going to just go completely off script, that would be something that's more suited for a stream where that's kind of expected, versus a video where you kind of, you know, you kind of want the video to have some kind of structure to it instead of just being completely random. I don't know, maybe some people like that, but I don't. The other thing is that I kind of want the next video, I mean it for real this time, I kind of want the next video to be a little bit more goofy, a little bit less serious and dire, or sappy or heartfelt or whatever. And it's not because I have some kind of inherent dislike of honest content or people being real and speaking from the heart. I love that shit. But I do fear that if I make all of these videos in a row that are all about just speaking from the heart and all that kind of stuff, that it sets the expectation that's the only thing I want to talk about. And it's not. You know, sometimes I want to talk about stupid shit or something dumb that I thought or some cursed nonsense. Like, I don't want every video to be heartfelt, not because I dislike the idea of making heartfelt videos. It's because I want to display who I am at my core. I don't think it would feel like it's me if every single video I made was just videos about, oh, woe is me, how hard is my life, oh my goodness, oh, it's so difficult. Like, I think expressing your feelings is great. I think it's awesome. I think more people need to do it. Because a lot of people, obviously, have to deal with being human, which is not easy. I can tell you that one for free. And it can feel rather lonely to go through that experience and then go online and see all these people online who are just happy-go-lucky all the time, nothing bad's happening here. And I think it leads to this sort of expectation that there's something wrong with going through hardship. I think the only way to combat that sort of thinking is to make more heartfelt content, is to be more honest about how you're feeling. That being said, I don't want to do that all the time. Sometimes people really do need just a stupid video about some nonsense topic, and I want to provide both. I like being emotional, I like expressing my emotions, and I like making people feel better. I like making people feel happy. And sometimes people just need something stupid. I would know that. I've had plenty of times where I've just needed something stupid to get my mind off of something bad. So that's why I kind of don't want to just lean into one particular style of video. I don't want to just make goofy shit, but I also don't want to just make heartfelt stuff. I want to keep a nice balance between the two. So next video might be a bit of tonal whiplash, might be something real stupid, might be like the stupidest idea I can think of, just to sort of set the groundwork for like how this shit's gonna work. It's called No Notes for a reason, by the way. The entire point is that there isn't supposed to be one singular style to it. So keep that in mind. I might occasionally throw a curveball at you just to see what happens. It's funnier that way. So that was my video. I still don't know how to do outros. Bye! Have a happy Pride Month for what's left of it. It's like 4 or 5 days? I don't know. Anyways, bye-bye! a mantra that is skills, not pills. Now, before you come to any... Happy Pride!